Good day, everyone. Welcome to the ServiceDesk Plus Cloud Masterclass series. For all of those who would like to know what our Masterclass series is all about, we present monthly product training sessions across modules in ServiceDesk Plus. Today, being the very first episode for this year, we will focus on setting up the basic configurations to help you get started with ServiceDesk Plus. I am Nisha Ravi from the ServiceDesk Plus team, and I will be your trainer today. Let's go ahead and find out how you can set the ball rolling with ServiceDesk Plus. As the first step, we will configure an instance and add users into your application. Now, if you ask why this is a very important step, we all know that organizations are spread across different regions with different sites, and we have various departments working under every organization, and they also have their own hierarchical setup. To reflect your organizational setup inside ServiceDesk Plus, the initial step is to configure your instance, then incorporate sites, and then onboard users by providing them sufficient access permissions. Now, we will go to ServiceDesk Plus and find out how you can set all of these up. This is the IT instance in ServiceDesk Plus where I am logged in as the technician. And as a technician, I can access various modules from here and I can understand the state of my service desk from these visual dashboards. Talking about the daily functioning of your IT teams, you might be receiving tickets from different users who are spread across different regions, different sites, and you need a detailed mechanism to capture this entire arrangement, right? Now, to enable this, you can head over to Setup, and under Instance Configurations, you can go to Instance Settings. This is where you can get the basic details about your IT instance. The next step is to capture the different regions across which your organization is spread. To do that, you can create a new region by providing the name for the region, adding a suitable description, and you can map organization roles at the region level. We will talk about how you can configure organization roles in just a bit. Now that you have the regions in place, the next step is to define the different branches of your organization in every specific region by using sites. To create a new site, you can provide the name for the site, add a suitable description, and map the region that you created earlier with the site. After capturing the time zone and the language, you can also record the address and the contact information. And this is where you can set the configurations for sites in ServiceDesk Plus. Now imagine that we all know that organizations have multiple sites which are spread across various regions, right? Imagine the hassle that your IT teams would experience if they have to configure all of these with their own individual needs. But ServiceDesk Plus makes this very easy for you because you get the flexibility to configure sites using multiple ways. You can see the different site-specific parameters like the operational hours, the holidays, and so on the left-hand side, right? If these parameters track the pattern of a specific default site, you can copy these settings from the default site. Else, if they follow a pattern from a specific parent site, you can refer to the settings of your parent site and also select the parent site from this drop-down list. There might also be instances where every site has its own unique needs, right? In that case, if you require a completely new set of configurations, you can enable that by going with custom settings. And that is how ServiceDesk Plus simplifies the configuration of multiple sites in your IT instance. And similar to your regions configuration, you can assign organization roles at the site level also. Now, after capturing the sites in your organization, let's find out how you can configure the different site-specific elements. Let's start off with the operational hours. Operational hours will define the working hours of your organization, and this comes in handy when you are executing SLAs or defining your business rules or even trying to track the time effort of your technicians. To configure operational hours, you can go with the round-the-clock model or set standard working hours by specifying the start time as well as the end time. Then, depending on the number of days during which your organization functions every week, you can choose the days that are applicable for your organization and also set the working hours for these days. Let's imagine that your organization functions until 2 p.m. every Friday. To configure this, you can go with custom hours and mark the appropriate end timing right here. Now, let's find out how you can create different holidays in ServiceDesk Plus. These are the holidays that apply to your organization, right? And holidays are very much helpful when you're configuring SLAs. To create a new holiday, you can mark the date on which the holiday falls on. If it's going to be Anzac Day, you can go with 25th April from here and give a suitable description. If this holiday is recurring in nature, you can enable this checkbox, and this frees you from the hassle of creating these holiday entries again and again. Now, after recording the different holidays that apply to your organization, you can also configure the different types of leaves that your employees can avail. Again, where this comes in handy, this is useful when your technicians are going to mark their unavailability using the scheduler. To create a new leave type, you can provide the name for the leave type, which is going to be half-day leave. You can add a suitable description and click on Save. Now, so far, we have seen how you can configure the different site-specific parameters, which is the operational hours, the holidays, and leave types. Another essential parameter is the department, because department will define the functions that you provide or you carry out, right? Now, to create a new department, you can provide the name for the department here, then add a suitable description, and you can map individual users in your organization as the head of the department. After that, you can associate organization roles at the department level also. Now, we have configured different sites and the site-specific parameters. The next step is to replicate your organization hierarchy inside ServiceDesk Plus, and this is where organization roles come into play. With organization roles, you can define the hierarchy of your organization across various levels. You can start off from the user level and go all the way up to organization level. For every level, ServiceDesk Plus comes with predefined roles. In addition to that, you can create roles which are applicable or which are required for your organization. Let's imagine that you would like to create a role at the department level. To create a new role, you can go with the plus icon here and give a suitable name. So here, it's going to be the department coordinator. Then you can add the description for the role and click on Save. Now that the role has been created, you can associate individual users in your organization with the role and then map the role to a specific department at a specific site. So this is how you can tie your different individual users, the departments across sites, and also the organization roles that you create in a single pane. Now, why is this essential? In ServiceDesk Plus, you can associate organization roles and map them with approvals, notifications, and escalations. So these configurations will remain intact even if employees leave your organization. Again, this saves you from the hassle of reconfiguring these settings again and again. Now that you have replicated your organization hierarchy, the next step is to provide sufficient access permissions to various stakeholders. Let's start off by creating roles for your technicians. You can access roles under Users and Permissions. As you can see here, ServiceDesk Plus comes with a lot of predefined roles which are available right out of the box, and these roles provide the sufficient access permissions across various modules. Apart from that, you can create new roles according to your needs. Let's say that you'd like to create a role for the SD manager. You can start off by providing a name for the role, add a suitable description, and this is where you can set access permissions across various modules. Here, the SD manager would have full control over the request module. And going further, you can set granular or fine-grained access permissions for requests, purchases, contracts, and maintenance. And how does this work? Let's imagine that you would like to restrict your technician from moving a specific request. You can accomplish this by simply disabling this checkbox. And that is how you can ensure fine-grained access permissions for your technicians. Now, you can also set permissions for them to view data across different modules, or you can limit their access to those in a specific site, or those that are falling in their domain, or those which are assigned to just a specific technician. Now that we have created roles for different technicians, it's now time to onboard different users inside ServiceDesk Plus. Talking about onboarding your requesters into ServiceDesk Plus, there are multiple methods of importing their details. You can import their details from the organization, which is the ESM directory, or you can go with Azure Active Directory, or you can also use the CSV file to import their details. Apart from these, you can create requesters manually in ServiceDesk Plus. While creating a new requester, you can provide their personal details like the first name, their last name, the employee ID, and so on. Also, you need to make sure that your requesters have a valid email ID, using which you can enable login for them. After capturing the department details, you can enable self-service login for them in case they have a valid email ID. This ensures that they have access to the self-service portal inside ServiceDesk Plus. Going further, you can set advanced access permissions by assigning different project roles, enabling them to create changes, loop them in as approvers for requests, purchase orders, and also tag them as VIP users. The interesting case about VIP users is that important users in your organization can get their requests prioritized accordingly. Now that we have seen how you can create a requester, let's find out how you can onboard technicians. To create a new technician, you can simply provide the name for the technician, add their first name, their last name, their personal details, and similar to the creation of requesters, you need to make sure that your technicians also have a valid email ID so that they can log in and access the application. You can capture their cost details, their department details, and associate the technician to different sites in your organization. You can also associate the technician groups, which I will show you how you can configure. Moving on, once they have a valid email ID, you can enable login for your technicians. And this is where you can map different roles that are available in ServiceDesk Plus. These are the technician roles which are either available out of the box, or you can also map the roles that you have created according to your needs. To map a role to your technicians, simply select the role that is available here and assign it to the technician while creating their profile itself. Then you can set advanced access permissions by assigning different project roles, enabling them to approve requests, purchase orders, and also mark them as VIP users. And that is how we can onboard technicians inside ServiceDesk Plus. Another interesting fact is that you can convert your requesters into technicians right from here. And I will show you where you can access that. So under requesters, you can change a requester into technician by availing this option. Now that you have added users into your instance, you can group them according to your needs. Now, we might have different IT teams who are working on various aspects of your IT, right? Now, you can group different technicians either based on their skill set or their expertise or according to your needs. To achieve that, you can use technician groups in ServiceDesk Plus. To create a new technician group, let's say that you are going to group technicians who are involved in IT asset provisioning. You can configure this by providing a name for the group and then mapping the available technicians with the group, and you can choose to notify specific technicians for various events. This could be about when a request is added to the group or when a request is left unpicked or if the details of the request are getting updated. Moving further, you can capture the group mail setting details and also map organization roles at the group level. Now that we have seen how you can create technician groups, let's find out how you can group users according to various criteria dynamically. You can achieve this with the help of user groups. And how can user groups help you? With user groups, you can restrict the accessibility of your templates, your announcements, and solutions to just the intended audience. An ideal use case would be that of employee onboarding. In that case, you need to ensure that the employee onboarding template is accessible to just the managers in your organization, right? Now, let's imagine that you would like to create a group for VIP users in your organization. To create a new user group, you can provide a name here, add in a suitable description, and then set conditions to create this group dynamically. Here, if the user is a VIP user, you can quickly get a preview of the different users who satisfy or match this criteria. And by clicking on Save, you can create a new user group dynamically. Coming back, we saw how you can configure an instance, create different regions and sites in the instance, and then we customize different site-specific parameters like your operational hours, the holidays, the leave types, and so on. Once the foundational setup is done, we saw how you can bring in your users, provide them with sufficient access permissions, created roles for them, and so on. Now that you have added users in your instance, the next step is to enable them to reach out to your service desk, right? Now, we will see how you can enable mail server settings. Since emails are one of the most common methods through which your end users reach out to your service desk, mail server settings will help you convert your incoming emails into tickets automatically, and you require no manual intervention for this. And now, I will take you back to ServiceDesk Plus and show you how you can set up mail servers in your application. I'm back inside ServiceDesk Plus where I'm logged in as the technician. By going to Setup, you can access mail server settings under Mail Settings. By setting up your mail servers, you can both receive and send emails from ServiceDesk Plus. And here, this is the existing mail server settings, which you can set up by providing the server details, the login credentials, marking the email address, the email type, and also specifying the frequency with which you would like to fetch your incoming emails. And similar to your incoming mail settings, you can configure your outgoing mail settings as well. Here, you can provide the server details, the sender's name, the reply to address, and mark the type of the email and also provide the login credentials. Now, these are the existing mail server settings. Now, ServiceDesk Plus is offering native mail server settings and also supports modern authentication support for your third-party mail servers. With native mail server settings, you can generate a ready-to-use email ID for every instance in ServiceDesk Plus. And what makes this very interesting is that you can use these emails just like any other regular mailbox. In fact, it provides an additional layer of security. This is because your email server is accessible only inside Service Desk Plus, and this enables a faster conversion of your incoming emails into tickets. Now, I will show you how you can enable native mail server settings. To accomplish that, you can switch to the native mail server settings right here and activate the Service Desk Plus Cloud mailbox. And this would create the mailbox automatically. And if you would like to go with the modern authentication support for third-party mail services, you can choose your preferred mail service from here, which is the Office 365 or your Outlook mailbox. Now, let's come back to setting up your mail server settings. Once you activate your Service Desk Plus Cloud mailbox, as I told you, the mailbox would be created automatically. And here, this is how your native mail servers would look like. Here, the support address is generated automatically, and you can customize the sender's name and also capture the details of your email address to which users will be sending their replies to. Here, you can either use the support address that has already been generated, or you can also have an email alias for this. But you need to make sure that the email alias is verified in Service Desk Plus. To verify the domain, you can go to mail addresses and verify the email alias right here. Coming back to your native mail server settings. Here, you can set the incoming settings by accepting emails from unknown users, and also you can disable the creation of new requests through email. You can also set exceptions according to your needs. Now, you can access after that, you can finish the configuration of this setup, and then a mailbox will be created. This mailbox is automatically connected to your support email ID, and this is where you can access your inbound emails, your outbound emails, the trash and spam filters, the trash and spam emails, and so on. Now, you have enabled mail server settings and you have started receiving different emails from your end users. But there might also be chances where you receive unwanted emails, right? Now, you can filter these spam emails with the help of Mail Filter. And why is this important? This will help you ensure that you prevent the creation of unnecessary tickets in your service desk. And how can you block these unwanted emails? You can match your incoming emails with specific criteria. Let's say that you would like to block out-of-office emails. Here, you can check whether the subject of your incoming email contains out of office. Now, once this condition is satisfied, you can block all of those emails which have this subject, and that is how you can prevent the creation of unnecessary tickets. Then, you can automatically fetch the data from your incoming tickets for your ticket parameters. You can achieve this with the help of email commands. Email commands will pass information from your incoming emails to ensure that these details are mapped with the right ticket attributes automatically. Coming back, we saw how you can enable your mail server settings, and then we saw how you can configure your native mail server settings and also how you can avail the modern authentication support. Then we also saw how you can block unwanted emails and fetch the details automatically with the help of email commands. If you would like to know how you can set up native mail server settings for your instance, please take a look at the handouts And you can also reach out to our support team for any assistance in this regard. Now that we have seen how you can set up your mail server settings, let's find out how you can customize your ticket attributes. If you ask me why you need to ensure these last mile customizations, the answer is very much simple. Your IT teams handle tickets that are unique to your organization, which means these attributes need to be customized so that you can fetch information that's relevant to your organization. And that is where customization of your ticket parameters help. And the best part about this in ServiceDesk Plus is that you require no coding or scripting to achieve them. All of that can be done right from the GUI. Now, we will jump back to ServiceDesk Plus, where I will show you how you can accomplish this. We are back inside ServiceDesk Plus, and to go ahead with customization of your ticket parameters, you can go to Setup, and under Customization, you can access Help Desk. This is where you can customize the different ticket parameters that I mentioned earlier. Now, your IT teams might be handling a variety of issues. These could be about your VPN issues, or a broken laptop, or a Wi-Fi issue, and a lot more. And it will be very helpful for your IT teams to categorize your incoming tickets neatly, right? Now, let's say that you are dealing with a software issue. To create a new category for this, you can provide a name for the category and add a suitable description. Then you can assign a technician to this category right from here. And for every category that you create, you can break down the category into subcategories and items according to your requirement. So this ensures that you have a detailed categorization for your incoming tickets. Then you can track the progress levels of your tickets with the help of status. Let's say that you are onboarding employees into your organization and you are waiting for the approval from your hiring manager. To create a new status for this, you can simply provide a name, and which is going to be waiting for approval in this use case. After adding a description, you can mark whether this is an in progress or a completed status. And if you would like to stop the timer, you can achieve that with the help of this toggle switch. You can add a suitable color coding from here and click on save. That is how you create the status for your tickets. You can also track the complexity of your incoming tickets by using levels. And this ensures that tickets of the right complexity are handled by expert technicians according to different requirements. In case you are offering multiple methods of communication between your end users and the service desk, you can trace the mode through which different tickets come into your service desk. Then you can assess the criticality of your criticality of different tickets with the help of impact. Let's say that a major incident occurs and it affects your CEO. To customize this attribute, you can provide a name for this, which is going to be affects CEO in this case. After adding a description, you can click on save. In addition to impact, you can gauge the speed with which your tickets need to be resolved, and you can capture that with the help of urgency. And these incidents need to be resolved immediately, right? So the urgency can be marked as high for this. And apart from the impact and urgency, you can also capture the priority for your tickets. Talking about the incident that is affecting your CEO, you can create a priority which is going to be suitable for this condition. You can create or customize this parameter by providing the name, adding a description, and mapping the color code right from here. Now, we have seen how you can customize these parameters, right? Now, I have a question. How can you determine the priority of your incoming tickets? And what would be the ideal best practice? If you enable your end users to determine the priority of their tickets, they would obviously mark this as high priority, right? Because this would impact them definitely. Now, this would flood your service desk with a lot of tickets. So the best practice would be to assign the priority automatically. You can achieve that with the help of priority matrix. Priority matrix assigns the priority to your incoming tickets based on impact and urgency. And this is done automatically. Let's say that the impact is affects business and the urgency is critical. Then the priority of major incident is assigned automatically. That is how you can incorporate best practices into your ticketing activities. Then, apart from reporting incidents or requesting for services, your end users will also request for information, right? You can capture the different types of requests with the help of request types. Besides this, your technicians work on a variety of tasks across ITSM operations, right? And you can group tasks which are similar in nature with the help of task type. You can capture the type of effort that your technicians expend with the help of work log types. And this is very useful when they are marking their work logs while working on their tickets. And finally, you can understand the reason for which different tickets are closed with the help of closure codes. And while generating reports, you can understand the number of tickets that have been closed successfully. And customizing them is very simple. All you need to do is provide a name, add in a description, and click on Save. That is how you can customize these different ticket parameters right from the GUI, and you require no coding or scripting for this. Taking you back, we saw how you can customize your ticket attributes. You can customize the category, the subcategory, the impact, the urgency, and we also saw how you can assign the priority automatically. And the final takeaway from this section is that you can customize your ticket parameters without any coding. Now that we have seen how you can customize your ticket parameters, let us find out how you can set base automations inside ServiceDesk Plus. Now, all of us would want to automate our ticket management activities, right? But we always think that we require very complex skill sets to achieve this. With ServiceDesk Plus, that is not the case because you can build these automations right from the GUI. Now, we will switch back to ServiceDesk Plus where I will show you how you can customize or set up these automations. I am back inside ServiceDesk Plus and you can access automations under Setup where you find the different automations in ServiceDesk Plus packed together. Let's start off with business rules. Business rules are condition-based automations that perform specific actions on your incoming tickets. You can create business rules for both incidents as well as service requests. And why do you need business rules? Business rules help you treat similar tickets in a consistent fashion, and this reduces the error or the scope of error in your ticket activities. Let's say that end users are unable to access their application, and I'm going to create a new business rule for this. To create a new business rule, you can provide the name here and choose when to execute this rule. You can also factor in the operational hours. Then you can automate various actions when certain conditions are matched. Now let's say that you start receiving emails about the application issue. Generally, emails are mapped to your default request template, right? Now, I'm going to map these emails to the right template so that it improves the context when my technicians are working on these incoming issues. To set a condition for that, I can select a ticket parameter from here. So in this case, it is going to be subject. Subject contains application, and then I'm going to perform a field update to map my incoming emails to the right template. Here, I can select template as the parameter and map this to the right template. And that is how we set a business rule. Apart from performing field updates, you can execute custom functions and choose to notify the right stakeholders on time. You can also abort the process execution by using this option. So this would prevent the creation of unnecessary tickets, and you can display a custom message. So you can inform them that we are working on the issue. So this ensures that your end users would stop creating tickets unnecessarily. And that is how business rules work in ServiceDesk Plus. Now, since end users like you and me are facing application issues, we would definitely want our technicians to resolve them on time, right? With service level agreements, you can define the time duration during which your tickets need to be resolved. And let's see how you can define a service level agreement here. In ServiceDesk Plus, you can create SLAs for both incidents as well as service requests. To create a new SLA for the application issue, you can provide a name for the SLA, add a description, and provide the conditions during which this SLA has to be applied. Here, you can choose the required ticket parameter from here. And if the priority is going to be critical, this SLA would automatically kick in for all those tickets which match this criteria. I can also set the response time and resolution time. Here, I can ensure that the technician responds to my ticket in 1 hour and resolves this incident within 2 days. I can also choose to factor in the holidays as well as weekends. Then, I can set escalations for both response time as well as resolution time. I can choose to escalate this ticket either proactively or reactively, and I can escalate this ticket to specific organization roles or individual technicians in my organization. Upon escalation, I can perform different actions like a field update or sending out a notification. Here, I can choose to loop in an expert technician to ensure that this incident is resolved on time. I can set similar configurations for the resolution time as well. And that is how you can set SLAs for incidents. Talking about SLAs for service requests, the configuration is very much similar to your incident SLAs. So now I will highlight the differences or those configurations that are unique to the service SLAs. Here, you can associate the template to the service SLA. To associate a template, you can choose a template right from here and mark this as the default SLA. You can also apply this SLA to a specific user group. Since this is an employee onboarding SLA, it would be very apt to apply this SLA to just the managers, right? Apart from this, you can allow your end users to choose an SLA according to their needs. To set this up, you can head over to Setup, and under General Settings, you can go to Advanced Portal Settings. Here, you can choose to go either with condition-based SLAs or enable the user to mark an SLA of their choice. And that is how, with SLAs, you can set the expectations for your requesters as well as technicians. Now, going back to the other automations that we have. The next one is Technician Auto Assign. With Technician Auto Assign, you can assign your incoming tickets to different technicians automatically. And how can this be very useful? Imagine your help desk coordinator spending hundreds of hours manually sorting tickets just to assign them to your technicians. This would induce a lot of fatigue and also increase the errors in these assignments, right? Now, you can avoid all of that hassle with the help of Technician Auto Assign. Once you enable this automation, you can choose to apply this automation to incidents as well as service requests. You can also go with a suitable assignment model where, with the round robin method, you can assign tickets in a circular fashion. In case you would like to factor in the existing workload, you can go with load balancing method. Apart from these, You can leverage the AI and ML capabilities of Zia, which is our virtual agent. Now, Zia will predict an expert technician to handle your incoming tickets, and this is based on the data that Zia has learned so far. You can choose when to apply this automation and also set exceptions to this. Let's imagine that a security incident occurs. Now, these security incidents would be of high priority and you would require expert technicians to resolve them, right? You can exclude such expert technicians from here, and you can exclude tickets of a certain condition right from here. So in this case, if the priority is either high or critical, you can make sure that such tickets and technicians are excluded from this automation. And that is how technician auto assign works in ServiceDesk Plus. Next, you can perform actions on different entities across various modules. You can accomplish this with the help of custom actions. You can consume these actions as a part of the other advanced automations that are present in ServiceDesk Plus. Now, with notifications, you can ensure that your stakeholders are well informed uh, your stakeholders are well informed with the right information according to your needs. To create a new notification, you can provide a name, then choose to send this notification as an email or an SMS, and also select individual stakeholders by going with the organization roles, or you can map in your request users and so on. You can provide the subject for the notification and draft a custom message. With the help of the dollar variable, you can append the right details from your tickets. This ensures that you keep your end users or the required stakeholders well informed about the ticket then and there itself. And then with timers, you can automate multiple actions in a specific time interval. And this brings in the time factor into your automations. So instead of automating actions just once, you can set the required periodicity with timers. Let's say that you would like to update the priority of your incoming ticket after certain time has elapsed. You can activate the timer by specifying the time frame, and you can perform multiple actions across various levels, and you can define the time duration for every level. Here, you can perform actions like updating a field, sending out a notification, and so on. And according to the example that I mentioned just now, I have chosen to update the priority to high when the percentage of the specific date field has elapsed to at least 50%. And now you can abort the timer based on certain conditions. Once the conditions are matched, the timer gets aborted, and that is how timers work in ServiceDesk Plus. Apart from these, you can ensure last mile customizations in your ITSM operations with the help of custom functions. These are low code scripts which are written with the help of Deluge, and this is our very own proprietary language. An ideal example for custom function would be you can create a problem ticket in your problem module when you're trying to find out the root cause for different recurring incidents in your organization. And that is how custom actions can be very helpful for your ITSM operations. Then, if you would like to inform your stakeholders at the right time, you can avail the capabilities of notification rules. With notification rules, you can keep your stakeholders informed of various events throughout the entire ticket lifecycle. Let's imagine that when a request is created or updated or closed, you can notify your requesters simply by enabling the checkbox right here. And it is as simple as that. You can notify both your requesters, your technicians, or any other stakeholder according to your needs. You can send out these notifications as emails, as SMS, or even as push notifications. And that is how your stakeholders can be aware of different updates in your ITSM operations. You can customize the template as well. Here, you can provide the subject and draft a custom message. You can also use the dollar variable to pull in the required details, and that is how you can provide the right information at the right time to the right audience. Then, as the final leg of your ticket journey, you need to close your tickets, right? You can automate the closure of tickets with the help of closure rules. You can mandate different fields before your technicians close your tickets. Here, when you mandate the resolution field, you can ensure that your technicians provide the resolution before they close the ticket. Apart from that, you can capture user acknowledgement details and automate the closure of tickets if the ticket has been resolved for a specific period of time. In case the tasks and the checklist associated with the ticket have been completed, you can move the ticket either to the closed status or the resolved status. And that is how you can automate the closure of your different tickets in your service desk. Coming back, we saw how you can build these essential automations and make the life of your technicians a lot more easier. With business rules, you can ensure consistency in your ticket activities, and then you can set the time expectations with SLAs. You can assign tickets automatically to different technicians and ensure that different stakeholders are informed with notification rules. Finally, we saw how you can automate the closure of your tickets with the help of closure rules. Now, before we wind up the session, here is a quick recap. We saw how you can configure an instance, incorporate sites, and onboard users by providing sufficient access permissions. Then, we enabled end users to reach out to your service desk by setting up mail servers in ServiceDesk Plus. Then, we saw how you can customize different ticket parameters like impact, the urgency, and how you can assign priority automatically and do a lot more. We also saw how you can set up base automations in ServiceDesk Plus. With business rules, we ensure that you provide consistency in handling different tickets. We set the time expectations with SLAs, assign tickets automatically with technician auto assign, then send out timely notifications with notification rules, incorporate the time factor in your automation with timers, and finally, we saw how you can automate the closure of different tickets with closure rules. To learn more about ServiceDesk Plus, you can go through our admin guide and also track the latest features using our release notes. You can take a look at our previous Masterclass sessions on YouTube and interact with the peers of our industry on Manageengine Pit Stop. If you would like to reach out to our support team, you can access the link that's given on your screen. For any other questions or information that you might require, always feel free to write to us at hello@servicedeskplus.com. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. I hope you found this session very useful. Stay tuned for more such upcoming episodes in the months to come. Thank you.